Welcome to another episode of Tapped In with Tony. Tonight's guest is none other than Chase Gerbrick, founder of Gerbrick Performance and current Lipscomb University baseball player. Chase, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Tony. Obviously, very, very excited to be here and happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Awesome, man. One of my first questions for you is in regards to Gerbrick Performance. What inspired you to start Gerbrick Performance?
Yeah, Tony, number one, that's a fantastic question, a question that I get all the time. Number one, I tell people after my playing career ends, whether that's, post-college or post-pro, that I want to be one of the best Power 5 head coaches to coach in college baseball. So that's always been a passion of mine. I love teaching the right things. Obviously, love the infield scheme. And growing up, I had a lot of mentors in my corner and still do, have been able to connect with, guys like Kainoa Correa, Tim Corbin, Alan Jaeger, Francisco Lindor, Jeff Forehand. So it's for me, it's always to continue to learn and continue to use my knowledge to help inspire other people to be successful when establishing their craft, but also leading in a positive direction, helping people inspire the world and make an impact, not only as a player, but as a person. So for me, it's just being able to use my knowledge to make the world a better place. And it's something that I'm obviously very, very passionate about.
Awesome, man. And I understand that you have gotten connections with several other college athletes as well. So talk about how that goes and talk about how you've been able to help even a lot of the younger kids develop their game.
Yeah, Tony, obviously, love, like I just touched on, absolutely love inspiring the youth. And I also get a lot of college guys and even pro guys reach out. And I have had some, college coaches reach out, set up a phone call just to touch base on, infield and just talk infield. And I think the big thing is, Tony, just, making sure that we're educating people on, how to become good infielders, how to become good players, but also how to carry that craft off the field, right? I think it's just as important to, lead as a person and, be the best player you can be. And so for me, I've always just been a guy who loves to pay it forward. Like I just touched on, obviously had a lot of college athletes and, role models that I had growing up. And for me, I want to be that guy to somebody else, right? So the big thing is, whoever reaches out, I'm always happy to, touch base with these guys. A lot of them are great athletes. And some guys aren't there yet, but they want to be there. And that's the really, really cool thing. It's just a special game. And anybody who reaches out, I'm always one to, give back my full effort if they meet me, halfway there. So that's my passion, and obviously love to help anybody who aspires to be better and wants to continuously learn and work on their craft.
Awesome, man. And even some of the videos I've seen, like even at the age of 30, I didn't even know there was a science to a ground ball or getting the right throw off. I
Right,
usually
right.
watch the game and it's like, how do you get it? But there's like a science in that. So I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
say,
Yeah, no, you're spot on there, Tony. That there is a science, and I think a lot of it is, sometimes I do love the technical aspect of it, but there are times that we just need to, kind of release the mechanics and just, be a loose, fluid mover. So I try to obviously touch on the mechanics certainly quite a bit. I love the mechanical piece to it. I think it's huge. But I think the approach standpoint of it and just learning to be an athlete is also crucial. So I'm very glad that you brought that up.
yep. Thank you. And I noticed you've been a very busy man over the summer. You've been training yourself and you've been getting on board the NIL deals.
Mhm.
Being a college athlete, how in your opinion, do the NIL deals help you guys out?
Yeah, Tony, I would tell you, NIL deals are obviously, for any college athlete, just a great opportunity. Obviously, when you're going from 7 a.m. to, 7 p.m., trying to fit in meals, trying to get your classes in, going from practice to weights, it's tough. That's our job. And when summertime comes, guess what we're doing? We're back on the road playing summer baseball. So there's really no time for us to get a full-time job, right? And so this is our opportunity to, accept these companies' endorsements and accept these companies' interest in us. And for me, the NIL isn't necessarily for me. I do a lot of work with small growth companies that want to get their name out there because I know when I started my company, I was a small guy And I reached out to people to help me out and just be able to give me an opportunity to get my name out there, right? So for me, I want to be able to use my platform for those companies that are looking to get their name out there, obviously spread more brand awareness. And that's something that I really admire about the NIL is that NCAA is giving companies a chance to get their name out and also giving the athletes a chance to give their name out as they don't have time to get a job. And so this is an opportunity for athletes to, make money and receive some really cool items from some companies, and also gives companies the chance to also get their name out there. So I love the opportunity there. And in terms of training, I try to stay as busy as I can. You know me, I'm a busybody. So, whenever I'm bored, I have a problem with just sitting still. So love managing the GP account, love coaching, love training, love communicating, setting up Zooms and phone calls, and I'll be coaching some teams this summer, and love staying busy. And obviously, my job here at Lipscomb is to be the best player I can be. So that's my number one focus right now, is helping the team in any way I can. So that's the big focus, and everything else is just things that I am very, very passionate about and things that I love to do.
All right, awesome. And it seems like you're a guy that's betting on yourself, doubling down, and it's paying off. And
Absolutely, absolutely,
with you being in Nashville, there's probably plenty of NIL opportunities there in the
absolutely.
part of the South.
Yeah, and the cool part is, Tony, about Nashville is you get to meet so many people, whether that's in the baseball field or even just the regular workforce. I've gotten to know many NFL athletes and many big-time company owners, and a lot of MLB players and really big-time coaches. So that's the cool part being down here. You see those guys walking around every once in a while. And for me, somebody who's pretty outgoing, I'm not shy to walk up to them and introduce myself and let them know a little bit about me and everything. So that's a really, really cool part. Just always being able to make connections down here. And I'm very, very fortunate to have this area around me while I'm here for 4 years.
Oh yeah, awesome, man. And I noticed you said you were planning on coaching over the summer as well. Do you also plan on playing ball over the summer too?
Yeah, Tony. Obviously, that was a really big discussion. I have an outstanding internship set up in Cleveland, Ohio. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I am looking to pursue that. I'll be able to meet some top business workers and be able to travel the country a little bit. And I'll also be obviously really honed in on my training and what I need to do to be ready for the fall here at Lipscomb in the coming year as well. But yeah, I do look to coach a summer team, and I have one in mind. And I've already reached out, and it's going to be a really, really fun team to coach, really competitive. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the opportunity. And like I said, the internship is going to be just an outstanding chance to be able to meet some new people. And I'm really excited for that. But, the training and the lifting and all that good stuff will be the priority as well.
Gotcha. And so far, how has that gone? Like, I know you say you were a busybody, but did you play fall ball when you first got on campus at Lipscomb?
Yeah, Tony. So, we had a great fall season. Everybody here played fall. We had a scrimmage against Belmont, Western Kentucky, which was awesome. Did a lot of inter squads. And, the cool thing about our team is we've got such fabulous players, and not only players, but just good people. I mean, I can't even tell you the amount of upperclassmen who have taken me under their wing, and some have even offered to go to the field with me and work with me on infield, or work with me on hitting, and just get some training in. And that's a really, really cool part, is just like I just talked about, the paying it forward, right? We got a lot of transfers at these Power 5 schools who came in, and for me, I'm always somebody who loves to learn, and for them to be able to use their time to help me and train with me and get some work in with me is really, really cool, especially as a freshman. So always a very humbling opportunity when those guys give up some of their time. And I truly love each and every guy on our team this year.
Gotcha. And you're making the best thing about this is you're making such a huge impact in before you've officially played an NCAA Division One game.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm trying, Tony. I'm trying my best there. Still a lot more to accomplish there, but I really appreciate the acknowledgement.
I appreciate it, man. And what would you say? What would you say out there to any aspiring athlete if you have any kind of message or anything like that?
Yeah, Tony, that's a really, really good question. Any aspiring athlete, looking to play at the college level, or even, if you're in college looking to play at the pro level, I would just tell you it's a process, right? That's the big thing I've learned. And, it's really, really easy. And I still do this too. I'm being almost a little hypocritical here, but it's really, really easy to look at the results, right? Especially when you're not there yet. And I was always a kid. I wouldn't call myself a late bloomer because I committed fall of my sophomore year. But in middle school, I had some things to work on, right? Arm strength, speed, exit velocity. But I put together a plan on how I was going to do that. And I reached out to some big time people on social media who were very, very kind to give me their time and share their knowledge with me. And so I put together a plan. And for those, athletes looking to play at the next level, I would just tell you, whether you're there or not, just continue to learn and practice with, highly competitive guys, reach out wanting to learn more. If you don't throw hard, figure out why, reach out, try to get some more velo behind that. Right. So I think there's a lot of things you can do. And, I saw an interview with Kobe Bryant the other day. I think the interviewer said, you either have it or you don't. And Kobe was like, nah, man, it's more of an effort thing. Like, you can be good if you really want to. You saw Michael Jordan got cut from his high school team, and that's a pretty cliche story because everybody's like, oh, he's Michael Jordan, whatever. But in high school, was he really Michael Jordan? No, but he put the time and the work and the hours in, and he didn't negotiate with himself. So I think if you're an athlete looking to play professionally or in the college level, or even if your goal is to play at the high school level, freshman, JV, varsity, just continue to work, continue to get better, and continue to reach out.
Yeah. And I see, like you say, you're a busybody and you're keeping up with your studies and also training. I know that's definitely time management is probably like a huge thing for you.
Yeah, Tony, time management is, I've always been a goer since high school, but what college has taught me so far is to plan. Obviously, I'm managing a company right now, and I'm connecting with people, setting up Zooms, phone calls, fitting in practices. Got to fit my lifts in, got to fit in my extra work outside of practice, because if you're at college, obviously, you're practicing a lot, but if you want to be really, really good, like I said, you got to put in the extra time, fitting that in. Fitting in time for studies, right? So there is a lot going on, but for me, I'm somebody who loves that. I'm somebody who thrives on that, fitting in these sponsorships as well. So like I said, I'm just very fortunate to be in the position I am, just to be able to make an impact. And I'm very blessed to continue on that path going forward.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to ask you some fun questions
Let's
now.
do it, Tony. Let's do it.
All right. What's your favorite cheat meal after a workout?
Favorite cheat meal? Tony, that's a great question. Cheat meal, I'll have to go with mac and cheese. I don't eat it all the time, but when it's in the house or when I buy it, that's the go-to cheat meal right there.
Gotcha. And the next question, given that you're in Nashville, who would you say is the best country singer of one of the Nashville? Dolly Parton or Blake Shelton, in your opinion?
Wow, great question, man. You're on fire tonight, Tony. I got to go with Blake Shelton. Dolly is fantastic. She's great. She's one of my mom's favorites. But Blake Shelton, he's awesome, and he's somebody I've seen. I've probably heard more songs from him, so that's probably a little more bias there. But I'm a big Blake Shelton guy.
Awesome. And my last question is actually I've got a couple more questions. So what are you looking forward to going into not just the Atlantic Sun season, because Lipscomb plays in the A-Sun, but also going into your first official year as a Division I athlete, because I know you played fall ball and I know you worked very hard at that. But now you're going to be doing the real thing in a couple months.
Yeah, right.
Reality.
Absolutely, Tony. I would tell you, it's very exciting. It's a chance to compete at a very, very high level. A lot of people don't have that opportunity, and a lot of people wish they had that opportunity. So for me, it's just about, it's really easy sometimes to, wake up on days where your body's hurting, you're overloaded with schoolwork, and it's really easy to complain. But when you really put it into perspective, the opportunity that you really have, it's just a dream come true. So just, utilizing this spring as an opportunity to continue to get better and continue to compete against top competition, the top guys in the country. I think that's just going to be so cool and so beneficial to myself as a player and as a person, because, there will be challenges. and there will be highs and there's going to be lows. So I think just taking advantage of each opportunity, and competing at the highest level is just going to be such a fun experience with all my brothers out there.
Gotcha. Because I remember the last ever player manager in baseball was Frank Robinson back in the 70s. I see if Mr. Chase Gerbrick potentially being a player manager.
That's right. That's right. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. May have to follow in Frank Robinson's steps there.
My last question for you is: what is the best piece of advice that you've ever received from your mentors, whether it be a coach, an MLB player, a scout? What's the best piece of advice you'd say you've ever received, and why
Yeah,
has it helped you?
Tony. I would tell you, the best piece of advice that I could give to anybody is just to keep going forward. To just keep moving, keep pushing forward. And I think there's going to be times, whether it's baseball related or just in life, there's going to be times where you get completely knocked down, and seems like it's not going to get better, but you get completely knocked down. On the flip side, there's going to be times where you're going to be, higher than Mount Everest, right? Everything's going your way. And I would just tell you, Tony, the challenges life presents you and the opportunity life presents you, you got to take it and just use it as an opportunity to grow and make yourself better. It's really easy to, on those high moments, to get obsessed with those high moments, and it's really easy to get so down on yourself in those down moments. I would just tell you, keep moving, whether you're on the high, whether you're on the low, keep moving, because I'll tell you, the guys who never quit, and this is something that I saw it on Instagram the other day, fantastic quote, but it's hard to beat somebody who never quits. It really is. And it brings you back to that talent versus hard work, and yeah, there is a fine line between that, but it's really, really hard to beat somebody who never quits, especially if you have an obsession with something. So I would tell anybody in life, anybody in baseball, or any other sport, anybody in the workforce, just keep going, keep pushing, and view everything you have in your life as an opportunity to grow and get better.
Awesome. And the last question is: where can people follow you? Suppose I may know a couple athletes who may want to learn from Division I infielder and get that kind of
Absolutely.
training.
Absolutely. So anybody who wants to follow me, check out Gerbrick Performance on Instagram. You can also reach me on Chase Gerbrick. That's my personal Instagram. I do get a lot of comments, a lot of likes, a lot of follows, a lot of messages on Gerbrick Performance. So I try to reach everybody I can. It's very challenging with a lot that I have going on. But shoot me a message, because I will get back to you. I know how special it was to me when somebody older than me, somebody in college, some coach got back to me. It's always very, very special. And, like I always say, you have to pay it forward. And obviously anybody who's on Twitter, Chase Gerbrick is my Twitter. Again, I'm always on there. So you can message me on there, and I will always get back to you.
Gotcha. Chase, thanks for coming on the show, man. It's great getting a chance to catch up with you.
Absolutely, Tony. Always a pleasure with you. As always, your questions are on fire, always on point, and I really appreciate you having me on tonight.